Although Christians often, when they first come to faith, spend a lot of time reading the New Testament, and that's a very good thing for people who are unacquainted with the Bible to begin with the New Testament. For Christians who have believed or been raised in the faith, they come more and more to realize that we appreciate depths of meaning in the New Testament when we can read the Old Testament as the background to the New Testament. And that God knew what he was doing in preparing for the coming of Jesus. And so much of what we know about Jesus, what we say about Jesus, really doesn't make sense except against an Old Testament background. So Jesus is the king. Well, we know about kings because we read about kings in the Old Testament. Jesus is the prophet. We know about prophets because we read about prophets in the Old Testament. Jesus is the priest. We know about priests because we read about priests in the Old Testament. We know that he died on the cross as a sacrifice because we know about sacrifices in the Old Testament. So the more we can know about the Old Testament, the deeper our appreciation of Christ and his work and the way in which the New Testament fulfills the Old Testament. Some Christians have accused the Reformed of saying that the New Testament in some way cancels out the Old Testament, or the church replaces Israel. That's not at all what we believe. We believe that the New Testament fulfills all that the kings and prophets and priests of Israel look forward to, and that those writings then, in all their different forms, whether the law or the history or the poetry or the prophets, help us to see the meaning of the Old Testament more deeply.